It is Friday, the last day of March. Tomorrow is April 1st, 2023. And I don't have anything to talk about more than one thing. And it's important to start talking about it because I don't want it to be more increase. But I don't know what it was about because it can be something that have with me to do in my life, or else it is something historical for the whole world to happen in the future. But I suppose in this with a tsunami, that's what they were talking about. It took over 3 years for it to come. So when they talking from heaven about the future, can it be tomorrow, or it can be for some years ahead they talking about. So this night I wake up of that it was something evil coming through in the night, and but I was lucky to wake up for when it come through, and it was like a dark, like a cave that wanted to come into my room, and it was outside my body. So it was a dark cave opening that wanted to take me into this darkness. But I wake up before it hit me, and I went up to the bathroom, and then I lay down again, and before I fall to sleep, I told heaven, and I talked to God about to protect me and take that away that was on its way to coming. And so they did it. I thought it should come back. It have happened before that when I lay down its return, but it didn't in the night because I was talking for a long time to God and to heaven to not let it come into my room again. So I don't really know what was going on, but I think it was about the future for the world to come. That it showed these things. But as I wake up and then I talked to the darkness also and say that they were not allowed to come into my room, and I said, and then I talked to God about it and heaven about it, and it didn't come forward. But something, if I should meditate on it and think about it, that was on its way to come. It was an opening, and in the opening was a total dark, and it was not the whole room, it was an opening in the air, was it, that was dark. and I think it have with the world to do. It doesn't have with me to do. And I think why it was going away very easily. I think that's because it didn't belong to me. It belonged to the world. And like many times before, I have to wait for an answer to come to me. But I did forget what it was, because you know something is on its way to come through and make my brain doesn't work so clearly. It's not my normal brain that something take over it. But I'm going to tell you worldly things about this man that is coming and help me. And he was here yesterday and helped me to clean up my home. And he was up on the step stool. I can't do that, so he did it. And then he told me that he was educated to clean the windows. He told me I'd be very happy because it's need to be done. It have not been done for 3 years. The windows was clean when I moved in here in February, maybe March. So for 3 years ago. So I have done some when I have seen spots on the window glass. I have taken that away because it's there is kids, teenager that threw dirt on my windows because they want me to go away, because it's a Muslim area where I live, so they want me to move away. So that's what they do, and that's one thing why I pay this man to come. He is Swedish and he looks Swedish. He's have blonde hair, blue eyes. He is a Nordic man, and so they can see that, and he helping me, but they don't know that I pay him. So they think that is my boyfriend, and then they don't touch me like when I am on my own. And so I was glad he could do that, and he cleaned up very, very well, and it is for me, the spirit is coming closer and closer now, that is on its way to say something about this, what happened in the night. But he's good to clean up and carry out trash, and he is very kindly person, but in the same time he can be loudly in his voice if he angry about something. And now yesterday we were talking very much. I'm not a political person, but I know what's going on. in the world. And we were talking about political things. So he started to understand that he can talk to me about everything. I know most of everything, and I know that he have travel abroad. He know English, so I'm going to ask him very soon now to come and talk talk in this podcast in English, and I can ask him questions, and maybe he ask me question. But I have not talking so much about God to him, not talking about religions to him, uh, because I wanted to gain his trust, so he is not frightened about me anymore. If he have been that, because other people have said they are frightened about me, and because now he talk political things and what is in the society, what's going on today, and he have found out that I am a normal person and rather intelligent person. I see myself a little more than normal intelligent. It's not because I have studied so much. I have studied much, but it's not about my studies, because that have not given me anything. Those books have never get the knowledge what's going on in the society. It's experience. It's to be street smart that have make me what I am today. And I have always been curious. I have always wanted to know more. And when people say some subject, then I want to ask question more about the subject. I don't want a little only to knowledge about it. I want to know so I can understand the whole concept of it. So he have found it out now, and I have not asked him so very private question. It's more like he have opened up himself for me. And so it's I'm old, and I have been in this to be together with a man, and I do different this time. I don't rush into some relationship. I am okay with to have him here, and if I feel very much need of a hug, I going to tell him that I need a hug. I'm not scared to say that, because a hug, you can do that even if you are married to a person. If someone wants to hug, that is not to have intercourse, not to have sex with that person. I don't kiss him. I only want a hug, because I have told you that I am open in my sexuality, that I have, so I can do it on my own and be okay with that. I don't need a man for to have in the bed. I need a man to have hug and maybe a kiss from, and only feel that we are together, he and I, me and you, against the world. But it's not against the world, but be protected. Be too about to be protected from evil things in the world. That's what I need to have in my life. I'm okay with most everything because I have heaven that take care of me. And I'm going to ask this spirit inside my mind what he or she, it can be double also, but now we know that it's when it's coming, so I don't see if there is a man or a woman. That means that they have been born more than once. So they can be like that. I have been born again 6 times, and this time is the only time I have been a woman. I have been a man before. So that's what can happen with these spirits that is coming through, and I don't really know if it's a man or a woman. That means that not that they are not any gender. It means that they have been born both a man and then another time a woman, and this it can be in any age, so they can have been born here and return as a baby, so they have been a future that have been born, because everyone that have been born, and it doesn't matter what age they are in, what time they but as long as they have been born, they have been a human, they have been a woman, they have been a girl or a boy. And that means that they maybe return very fast. They maybe be born here on earth, but died before in the womb, but they come out to be, like we say, in birth, even if the doctor took them out, and from in another way. And they have been born, and they can be a little girl that died very young, and then they return to heaven, and coming back, be born very soon again and sent back to earth. And in that birth they can be a little boy instead of a little girl, and they are not. The spirit is saying that someone of you that listen, you start to understand what have happened to you, and it's like in the Bible that was it Elizabeth and Mary was almost give birth on the same time, and what I'm talking about is that you lost your baby, but the baby was coming back and went into this is an answer for someone of you that listen. That baby that you lost, it go back to heaven, but very soon. It can take 7 weeks after it's sent back to Earth again. And in that way that they be born maybe of someone that is close to you. Because you have, this is for you that you understand this, because you have done this. You have a friend or sibling that got a baby after that you have lost your baby, and that baby, you can feel a special connection to that child that your friend or sibling have given birth to just after that you lost your baby. And that is because the baby was coming back and not placed inside you, but placed close to you for you to have this connection with your baby that you lost. But it come back and be by your side after that. That's the answer for you why there is a connection in close to you, to where you are. It can be a family member that have got a child. That it can be a neighbor close to you that have got a child. And that child is sitting and waiting for you on the stair. When you are coming home, it's a little girl, I say. It's a girl with long hair, and she's sitting at the stairs outside the house. And you think that she's sitting there because she is playing with toys. But in fact, is it that she feel the connection with you, so she is waiting for you to come home. And she feel like you are her mother. So that is the soul that we are born with, that have this feeling emotional in it. The soul are waiting for you. The soul belong to your child that you lost, and the child come back in another, maybe in another form. You don't recognize them in their face, but you feel that connection to this child. So you should know that you should not take that child as your child. You should take that child as a connection, a love connection between you and her. And it can maybe be a boy that sit and wait for you. That you should know that it was your child once, but now today it's belonged to another person's child. So you should not steal that child, but you can feel the connection. And if you talk to that child, you will hear from that child that she is saying some hints, some clues for you. He is going to tell you things that child should not know about you, but that child know it. And So you should not be frightened about it. It's only the soul from your lost child was coming back and to be close to you. That's the spirit that come through now. It wanted to talk about this. So it was not about this darkness that I saw. And maybe there is more to come here. But that was the first thing. And the spirits in heaven, they know that when they did this in the night, that it was like some darkness. I was not scared. I was not like in mental dangerous in some ways. It was only that I felt it when I saw it. I felt that if I don't do anything, it will come. The whole room will be full of negative things. But I knew that I should wake up and go to the bathroom and then come back. And I talked to God about it, to not let it come more. And then they knew that I should talk now because of this. What happened in the night make me talk and could reach you that have lost your child. And heaven want to explain for you that have lost a child. I say a child, but it can be that person that have the child that have been killed or died. It can be in a teenager that someone felt it hit you. When I say that, it can be a teenager that is not here anymore, and that teenager is coming back as a little baby for someone around you that is pregnant today or have been pregnant and give birth, and you feel this connection with that child. It doesn't need to be a baby that is born and then it's die and then it's coming from heaven as a baby again. It can be the spirit touched me when I should say he was 15 years old, and he was killed in an accident of, it looked like a motorbike or a moped, some kind of, that he sit on something with an engine, and he was killed, and he was only about 15 years old, this boy, and you lost him. But later on, or maybe very quick, a child was born around you, and you feel the connection. And sometimes you have not told anyone about it, but sometimes you can see your child in that little child that it was born after your son was killed, and you can see something in the eyes of that child, or how it move around or act. that you can see your child in this child. So it's very sad, but in the same time is it very wonderful that heaven give back in that way your child. It's the Spirit is saying that to me. It's come through, and I have very headache. So I think it's someone that was hit in the head, and the Spirit is talking about you, that your son was laying. It can be a girl also. That your child was laying for a long time in a hospital, and you have to make a decision to let your child go, because there were no more life in him or her. They could hold them alive in that way with machines, but they never could come back with a brain, so you could talk to your son or daughter could talk to you. It should only be laying there as like a doll, nothing, and you have to make the decision to let your child go, and it's so extremely hard to do it. All people want to hold in the child and never let it go, but the spirit of your son, it's a boy the whole time here. The spirit of your son is coming and talk to you and say that it was of love you told the doctor to let me go, and I wanted you to let me go in your love for me, to let me loose, let me go free, and I was happy to could leave everything behind me and go up to that beautiful place that was for me. And when I come up to heaven, this is for you, Mother. It was a bright light, and there was a man waiting for me that I see. I know it was Jesus. It was someone that was standing there, and he told me that it's not your time yet to get in here. You have more mission to do on earth. You had to go back to earth to let someone love you and take care of you again as a child in the same wonderful spirit way your mother did with you, and to let someone have that gift to have you as her child, for you to be close to your mother, but also be a son of another mother also, that you on earth have two mothers that think about you with love. So you have to go back and be born again in another family, but close to where your mother were, giving birth to you and took care of you. It's time for you to hold a hand on your mother that is today, and the mother that you left, and you can hold, you can feel his hand in your hand. Your son is stretched out and hold your hand in this moment. I'm talking. He's talking to you from me. So he's on his way to leave me now inside my body, because he have told you that he was given two mothers on earth. That's why you feel this very, very much connection with that child, and you should feel this joy and not be envy this mother to have your son in her life, because you were happy with your son when he was born to you, and you have him for a long time. He could have going away when he was a baby, or you have never had been pregnant with him. It's we in heaven that have this decision for you, what to do, and those children that be aborted, when a mother doesn't want to have that child, to be pregnant and have that child, and decide to do an abortion, that is not waste of life, because that baby will be used to another family. We send that baby back to earth, to a better place to be in. So that it's many times the children are not born once. It can be born many times for the love to that person that is coming to. A gift from us when another mother doesn't want to have that gift. We give that gift back to another person. So a baby can be born many times. It's not that a child that is be aborted away, it's only going into trash. That's not. It's we take care of it and let it be born in the right way once again. As for you that thinking about that you did abortion and now you regret it and crying over it, that you did that evil thing, and we tell you that that baby be born again on earth. So sometimes people say they have met their own twin. That some people have told me that they have seen me in other places, but that is someone that was sent back to Earth and could look like me. So now the spirit did go out from me now. So that was why it was this darkness. It was this opening as a cave. So it was like the baby was, or your child was inside the cave and come back out again in the light. So thank you for listening, and I am going to tell you what's going on in my life, also in my worldly life. If this man that is have coming to me to help me is sent from God, or in that way that either that he helped me like he do, or else is it also that we be a couple. I don't know. I don't go for that I love. I don't love love. I need to be careful, so I go for what God wants me to do. I am very easy to be in love with the love. So thank you, and God bless you. Thank you for listening.